Hey,
How's it going?
doing
Her.
well. How are you doing, Melanie? Hey, Alyse.
Good. I've got an assistant here.
Oh,
This is
take it
Jasper.
back.
All right. So, how have you both been doing?
Woo!
That's my first question.
All
That's
right,
the most loaded question.
I know it is. You can take it anywhere
well,
you want.
remind me, like, when was the last time we spoke? Like,
It
because a
has
lot
been
happened.
Perfect Drug was about to drop.
About to drop, like before the
Yeah,
six
like the video had just dropped, I think. So it's been,
Oscar.
Oh, dang. It's been a
yeah,
minute.
Oh my God, so much has
there's been some
happened.
epic tours. Like
Oh,
you've been
like
busy.
crap. Yeah, no. So like, oh man. All right, so we released that first single, Perfect Drug, right? And then it just kind of exploded. Like the music video got over 1 million views, and then like we were already starting to prep for, like, releasing the next singles.
Mm.
And then we started getting so we had PR reps already. We had a radio promo rep that was like working to try to get Perfect Drug, out there and get people to listen. And so I think we just started getting attention from different managers, that wanted to work with us and stuff, that also knew our PR reps and our radio promo rep. And so we ended up choosing to work with Tony Couch, who's amazing. He also manages In This Moment
Hmm.
and Eva Under Fire. So if you know In This Moment and Eva Under
Yeah, I
Fire,
do.
so hey, we have the same managers. But
Wow.
yeah, Tony's been great. And then we've just kind of expanded from there. Like we set out a plan. We toured with New Year's Day first, and that I think that was our first, national tour as a band. We had been doing like gigs like regionally, here and there, just to
Hmm.
kind of like work up our excitement in the area, but we started with New Year's Day over on the West Coast, which
Hmm.
we hadn't played with in front of anybody in Vegas and California and stuff. So we got to really gain exposure over there. And then we released some new songs like Undertow. Undertow got on SiriusXM Octane test drive, which we were super stoked about. So like
Yeah.
we when we had our next tour with Atreyu, like people were like coming to the show saying like, I heard you guys on Octane. Oh my God, they're our new favorite band. And things just like really exploded. And since we've released the whole EP now with another music video for Into Nothing, we went back to LA and we recorded more songs, which we released one of those unreleased songs called Crawl Space right
Mhm.
before our recent tour with Pop Evil. So we just got off tour with Pop Evil in the fall. And that was insane. So we can talk about literally any of these endeavors because
Yeah.
you've missed out on a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just released Crawl Space, and that tour went amazing. Pop Evil was awesome. And we still have so not only do we have unreleased music from those LA sessions,
Mhm.
but we also have we went back to the recording studio with a different producer as well in Vegas, and his name is Kane Churko. So we went all the way to Vegas. We were there for 6 whole weeks, writing and recording with Kane Churko. And Kane and his dad, Kevin Churko, they've worked with like In This Moment and like Disturbed, Ozzy Osbourne, like Bad Omens, like so many huge people, Five Finger Death Punch, and so getting to write and record with Kane for that long, you're in a
Mm.
writing space that's vulnerable and it's like really intense, for 6 weeks. That was like a big learning experience for us. And so we got to write new music. So we have a lot of unreleased music right now that we're plotting for 2024. So we can dive into any of those.
Yeah. So my next question was gonna be how was the tour? I almost went out because I'm a big Fame on Fire fan.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, Oscar, do
Yeah.
you want to take that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the tour was amazing. It was one of the first opportunities we had to actually have a driver for our tour. So we got to kind of enjoy the time. We weren't all always exhausted constantly. And so I think we hit like, was it like 20 cities? over the
Wow.
month. And it was all up and down the Midwest. We hit Ohio.
Finally did East Coast. We hadn't done a
Yeah,
national.
Midwest and East Coast. Yeah, we did so much. And it was really cool because it was our first time honestly touring on the East Coast. Outside of North Carolina. We hit South Carolina and Florida, and just being able to like be a little bit closer to home and hit places like Jersey. We got to play a lot of like famous spots as well, that like we played the Stone Pony in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was really cool because we heard so many stories about artists that had come through and you know, made that kind of their claim to fame kind of spot.
Yeah.
So it's cool to feel that energy in a lot of those. And then we played a lot of old what was it, Freemason temples as well. So that was its own unique kind of weird energy as well. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we've used these opportunities of tours to like grow each and every time, right? So like we had the New Year's Day tour, like we bought an RV, like we had an RV, but it had like the couch turned into a queen bed, and the kitchenette turned into a queen bed, and then we had the queen bed in the back. So since there's 6 band members, it was like 1 band member to a side, right? And that's, you don't really have private space, okay, was the first problem, okay? So like you're with each other every second of every
You
hour.
really get to know when you sleep next to them.
You know, like you're even so like you don't have like a space by yourself. But then also a big problem was that with RVs, you can't pull out the couch bed and stuff like that. You can't expand the other beds until you're stopped, right? You put down the jacks, and then you expand the RV so that it's wider, right? And then you can make the beds. So that means we had to get all the way to the city and destination first before these guys could sleep, the ones who sleep up front. And so like they were exhausted, you know. Not only were we like rotating who's driving, okay, we didn't have
Alyse is sound asleep in the back. Don't get it twisted. Alyse was totally sound asleep in the back whole time, all day, every day.
I was dealing with you guys fighting all the time. No, I'm kidding. No, so like no, like so I mean yeah, so anyway, I was in the back. But anyway, it wasn't sustainable for a long time term, you know. And so the second tour, we thought, okay, let's just like rip out the like bed in the back, and like let's try to actually like build bunk beds back here. And a lot of like carpenters and people that I reached out, like different contractors reached out, and they just said like, oh, it can't be done with the space you have and everything. And so we had to like work out like ripping out, like we took out the shower. So because we already shower at like the gyms, like different gyms that we go to alongside tour. So we're not even showering in the RV anyway. So we ripped out the shower, moved the toilet, and then boom, we were able to get 6 private bunk beds in the back. So now, you know, when you go to your privacy space, if you want to passive aggressively close your curtain, you know, you can, you know.
And that's the cool thing about having independence. I will say a lot of the curtain pulls were not as passive and more aggressive, but you know, after being on tour for a month, and that was the real cool thing, exactly like Alyse was saying, every tour has really given us the opportunity to really progress in us as artists and our production. And that was a really cool thing about the Pop Evil tour as well, is our production was on a whole nother level. We've actually, it came about during those Las Vegas sessions with Kane Churka, when we started implementing a lot of this AI presence into our material and our showmanship. And so we started playing with that a lot more in our television screens and in the light show. And so getting to show everybody basically the first glimpse of the next iteration of Lilac, right, was so cool to do, and especially in all these famous places. And get all that feedback about all the new music, because everyone on that tour got to hear, I think it was like 3 to 4 new songs that are completely unreleased, and we got to essentially sing along with people, because people were getting into a lot of the new ones too. That was the super cool thing, is by halfway through the song, people were like vibing it and starting to sing along with us and sweat just as much as we do, so that felt pretty good.
Yeah, and that what's great is like exactly what Oscar was saying. Like, I think what's different, like we worked in previously with Mike Plotnikoff. So the Perfect Drug EP was recorded in West Valley Studios, Howard Benson's like renowned studio, and like they're amazing. Like the equipment is amazing, and then they've worked with like oh God, Seether and 3 Days Grace and just so many huge people that we've all grown up on, and like Bon Jovi, just everybody, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so like working with Mike Plotnikoff was really great, like starting out. And then I think we needed to learn how to write with like other writers. And
Mhm.
so like the in between LA sessions when we went back after Perfect Drug, we wrote Crawl Space with Tyler Connolly from
Mhm.
Theory of a Dead Man. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with Theory of a Dead Man? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they go by Theory now. But anyway, so we worked with Tyler on Crawl Space, and then we worked with Tommy Kane, who's helped write a lot with like Crazy Town and like Ray Garrison and a lot of other people. So anyway, so we wrote with Tommy Kane for a couple of the other songs. And anyway, it was just like we had one day to write one song,
Mhm.
so we were there from morning until night. And so like it was like we didn't like we really pushed for like a concept very, very fast, and then we wrote about it with a lot of emotion like we always do, right?
Mhm.
um but like when we got with Kane, I think since we had more time at first, like you could really tell that. So Cam is so technical. Cam is our keyboardist. He also he plays guitar and stuff too. He plays a lot of instruments. But Cam is like the mad scientist behind all of our Lilac instrumentals, okay? And Cam loves creating weird sounds, okay? And being futuristic. He always thinks like, what is weird that nobody's doing right now? How do I make a sound out of like how do I change, like break a pen, flip it, and then reverse it, and then add effects to it, and add all these other plugins that nobody's ever heard of to it, and then change it. Like he's in order to make something completely new, and sound like it's like 3 years from now. And sometimes we have to like dial it back. Okay, all right, what's like still like on the verge of new, but like maybe 2 years from now, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, so it still stays on brand. But anyway, and so like Cam is so passionate about technology and creating those weird new sounds. And Kane is the same way. It was like Oscar and I were just sitting in the room, just like listening to them like geek out about like different
Mm.
plugins and things that are weird. And we were just like, it was like talking to another Cam. It was so
We were,
weird.
we were starting to get worried about when they were going to start their own project and like push us
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah, yeah. Kane Churko was like, so when are we gonna start? When are we gonna join a band? And so I was
Yeah.
like, don't poach my band member here.
Yeah.
But it was really funny. And so like I think we were just in this mindset of like new age. And so I think Oscar and I, when we started listening to the instrumentals, like we started thinking of like the concept of disconnecting from our human selves and becoming more barely human, and embracing the AI, and embracing like being less empathetic. And what does that look like, as new technology grows, and as connections between people grow, but through technology, so you become less connected in a personal, like look, we're zooming right now, I can't touch
Yeah.
you, but but we're gonna be closer now. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So it's like a weird,
Yeah.
you know. And so anyway, like I know, like if Oscar's sister has a baby, I'll know that, but I don't see her in real life, often,
Mhm.
So like it's just like those kind of concepts. And so we wrote a lot about that. And yeah, it just like made us really think technology. And so Cam started using like AI for our not only our t-shirt designs and stuff like that, but then also like on stage now we have, which I don't know how long it's been since you've been to a Lilac show. I think
It's been a while.
been a while, yeah. So we have these towers that have lights, okay, that
Okay.
are all wireless to our brain. So as the click tracks in our ear, the lights are going with the songs, and like air cannons shoot air and stuff like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Well, that's normal. A lot of bands do that where like the lights are triggering wirelessly using DMX or something, right?
Yeah.
But we also added like a TV on each side of each light tower,
Yeah.
and the TVs are using like wireless HDMI, and the AI is feeding like video visuals. Like we've created video visuals for each and every song. So you can put like the lyrics of the song or like color concepts, cityscapes, various ideas that come to our mind when we were writing the songs,
Yeah.
and making it a reality for people so that you're actually watching like these wireless HDMI visuals and stuff throughout the show as well, that it was all like
Yeah.
AI created. And so we're just like becoming less human and embracing it.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, here's a fun question. Tell me about Liquor with Lilac. How did this start?
How did Liquor Lilac was so Alyse and I basically after we came back from tour, everybody had like little bit of breaks and everything, and we Alyse does not let us stay calm for too long, so the content factory had to start back up, and we started just coming up with different ideas of like videos we could shoot, TikTok ideas, real ideas, and I think I came across this like pickle margarita idea, and I was like, hey, like let's like I sent it to her as a joke at first because I actually
Yeah.
hate pickles, and she's super into pickles, so I thought it'd be something fun for her to make. Lo and behold, it turned out to be one of our like content making nights, and Alyse was like, let's make this, let's make a pickle margarita. Turned out terribly, but it
No,
was
you liked it. You even were like, oh, this isn't too bad. If you watch our TikTok, you can see his reaction.
not too bad, not too bad, but but yeah, so that was the start. We kind of said Liquor with Lilac as a joke right from there, and we had a lot of fun on the live, a lot of fun making the video, and basically just started coming up with another concept, and it started really snowballing from there. People started getting into it and hitting us up and giving us gifts to help us out with making
Oh,
the
wow.
drinks, and gave us like a whole thing of like 40 bitters that I don't know if we'll ever use, but we definitely have any cocktail party like stocked and ready to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's been a lot of fun so far to kind of watch that part of our, because the idea was that we're kind of just enjoying a drink with our fans and having a good time, again, to show a little bit of our personalities and
Mhm.
who Alyse and I are, as like joking around with the fans and having a good time. And the idea is that like we're always here to just have a drink with our fans and get personal and let them ask us conversations, share new music, and we've done a lot of that. So it's been really fun to watch it grow so far as it has.
Yeah.
And we don't have no background as bartenders, neither of
No.
us. So I think that's like the awful and amazing part is because
Yeah.
we are like nonstop messing up, and we're also saying, oh, we couldn't find cherry bitters like last minute, so like we are bringing cherry juice and like regular bitters, the orange bitters that we found, right? And so like we're mixing like cocktails that we like, we're changing the cocktail recipe for sure because there are things that we couldn't find or we don't understand what it is or
Yeah.
how to do it. And so since we're changing it so much, the drinks are probably not ending up the way that they were supposed to be.
They've maybe ended up one time how an actual cocktail was supposed to end up, but yeah, definitely part of the fun is just making it up as we go.
Yeah.
But we are learning how to light stuff on fire and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been good. Yeah, I'm excited. And it's also like I think it fueled a new passion for Oscar. Like Oscar's like he excels in like his real estate business and stuff outside of Lilac, but I think doing Liquor with Lilac has like really made him super excited for like video editing and social media control, like social media like campaigning and how to do
Yeah.
that. And he's doing that on the side now too. So I think little things like this just like fuel our passions outside of Lilac, and I think that that's really great.
Yeah. So I heard you were working on another album.
Yes,
What
yes.
can you share about that at this point?
Yeah, so as we just as we kind of hinted to already, so we worked with Kane Jerko, and we wrote for 6 weeks with him. And so a lot of the new music is diving into like being barely human or AI or like technology and how it's changing us. And I don't know, like being dangerous. Yeah, there's some songs where we're just like diving into being dangerous. But I think one cool thing about Kane is that he really liked the fact that we're genre defined. Like, I think, and no offense to, like, I love Mike Plotnikoff and West Valley Studios, but I think when we first started, they were just like, okay, you guys are a band that are rap and rock. So, like, let's stick with what we know, right? And
Mhm.
so there are bands out there like, Linkin Park and things like that. And, where when Oscar was writing his raps, we had some like feedback from not West Valley, but like just from industry, like radio people and stuff like that, of like what they're used to for like a rapper in a rock band, right? And so
Mm.
they're looking for Rage Against the Machine kind of sounding, or like Linkin Park kind of sounding, right? There are certain boxes that they're putting us in. Whereas like Kane was just like, write as modern as you want. I'll make it rock, And so like write however you want, Oscar, and don't feel like there's any box. And if it sounds too hip hoppy, I'm just gonna throw some guitars on it. We'll make it a rock song. It's fine, but write it first how you feel. And Oscar was like fueled by that. And then like
Mhm.
with me, the same thing like goes for like a lot of singers in rock. Like we can show off our vocals, but like we can't like show it off like as much as like if I went to a karaoke bar and I really wanted to show off my vocals, like the most I could do, I would pick a song like a pop song, or something that really shows range, like an Adele song or a Whitney Houston song, or something that Celine Dion, or something where I can like really show vocal dynamics, right?
Yeah.
And there are some rock songs that, there's some rock singers that did that, Chris Cornell and Aerosmith. There's so many amazing singers that were able to incorporate dynamic vocals into their songs, and they're great. They're legends for a reason, And
Mhm.
so I felt like I've not really been able to play too much with like all of like my voice potential, I think, in our songs.
Mhm.
And so Kane wanted to like just let both Oscar and I fly, with no limits, and just let's see how it sticks, and not feel
Yeah.
like there's any boxes. And so like there was like a one of our songs, Dangerous, has uh a space, like a instrumental space where there's like nothing there, and he was like, I want you to just sing some Christina Aguilera like crazy stuff here. And I was like, okay, I've never been asked to do that before, that's exciting. And so I wrote like a crazy note, and I sang it, and it turned out great. And so when we went on tour and we did it, people like their jaws drop every day like on that show. They loved that song. And I'm really excited that
Yeah.
that we're like really pushing and challenging ourselves now and being ourselves with no boxes. It's great.
Yeah. That's exciting. I can't wait to hear it.
Oscar, do you have anything to add? I don't mean to talk about you for your rap.
No,
Like,
yeah, you did great talking about me for my rap. Yeah. Uh, no, I think the only thing I would add is that just to echo a lot of what Alyse said and what we've been saying so far, that every opportunity we've had has given us so much in growth, right? Along with like every tour has been evolving. Every time we've stepped into the studio to work with a new producer and new writers has forced us to evolve, right? And look at the way we write as artists and the way we approach the music and working together. And I think especially with two vocalists, right? You kind of had two heads on this dragon trying to like yell over each other sometimes. It was really cool the environment that Kane created for us to work with each other and kind of almost relearn that process of what it was to work with each other and write with each other. And Because I think when you're not quite locked in with a group of people that doesn't quite have the vision that you do, and they're just trying to help as much as they can, they don't really know how to create the environment for you to work the best you can within, right?
Mhm.
And I think Kane did a beautiful job of kind of letting us explore as much as we need to, letting us stay stuck for 4 hours on one line or 3 words if we needed to, but also once we got to something that was gold, kind of pushing us back past our fears of, I don't think that's good enough, to like, no, like, let me play with it, let me work with it, and I'll show you that like you're writing better than you think you are, you
Yeah.
know? And so it was really cool to watch that evolution into this new album that will be released, right? These new songs is that like entire difference that you'll hear from Perfect Drug to the Barely Human EP. That is just, it shows growth, and like you can hear it and feel it, I think, in the music.
Yeah. So you've toured with some amazing artists. You've worked with some amazing people. What is maybe the best thing that you've learned about the music industry from all these people that you've worked with?
Oscar,
Time management.
yeah, you say yourself.
I would say probably prioritization. Honestly, kind of learn what's important about the day of the show and like what you need to perform, and kind of let a lot of things fall to the wayside if they need to. Because we need to be focusing obviously our energies on the show that night, and a lot of the times like some things that we were like, oh, we need to get this done, or I'm thinking about this thing back home, like in order to really be present in the moment, to like be on tour, you kind of have to learn how to prioritize your energy and your focus and your time as well, just to like have everything ready. Like I mean, sleep is a very rare thing, for example, on tour. So like to prioritize even getting like 30 minutes here and there between like sound check and needing to do everything else for the show and set up, and like making sure everything's ready at the table and we're prepared, but I think that like learning how to make priorities for sure is something that I've learned is so much more important every tour, to just stay sane in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like I think for me, it's more of like the more prep that you do before the tour, like because you always need to be like at the ready for fires. Okay, it's gonna happen, but like the more you've already thought out, like what happens if we pop a tire, what happens if what ain't you thinking of every scenario of what ifs before you go on tour, it helps so much. So we made sure that we always check the RV, get the like the brakes, new batteries. I got a new generator for us just in case, anything happens. We can handle like this brand new generator. We know it's not like, oh, it's just an old generator. No, that can't be the excuse now, guys. There's something else going on. So anyway, I think prepping that, and then also as Oscar mentioned earlier, like this was the first tour that we actually got a driver. And like I didn't just like we auditioned a lot of we interviewed a lot of people for the driving position, but I think we prioritized somebody who's been doing this for a long time, like not like, oh my God, you guys are so great. We love Lilac. I totally want to do this to support you. That's amazing. But like, I don't want you to be tired. Like we got 6 people in the back that like, these are our lives, and I want us to be able to sleep at night so that we wake up in the city ready to go, ready to shower and everything. And so like, I got to meet industry like drivers, like who have driven for like Pantera and Linkin Park and Deftones and like all these amazing bands, and to hear their stories and like pick one that we could work with, and it was eye-opening. I think having that already prepped, already ready, so that we can just focus on like, so I don't know if you know this or not, but our band still has our day jobs right now, because like
Yeah.
we're doing this on our own. And so since we are doing this on our own, we work during the day. So every morning the driver, we would get us to that city and state. We wake up in the morning, we take our shower at the gym, and then we'll work all day long until it's time for sound check. And then we do the show, and then we do the merch and everything like that with the people around us. And then we hop back on the bus and the driver drives to the next city, and we do it all over again every day. So there's no breaks. It is day job and then night job. Day
We
job.
do meet and greets every single night. Meet and
Yep.
greets with fans every single night.
Yep. There is no stopping, you know? And so like, the more we prep beforehand, like I bought like so much airborne and hand sanitizer, like there was like, I'm trying to think of like what all could go bad, you know, and I'm gonna like prep that onto the bus before we even get there, you know, and I think that that helps too. And all tours do better, I think, if you do it with a release, a song release too, you know, because now you got this momentum of this new song, you know, the new music video or whatever it is, the new press that song is generating. So it's like a nice storm you can create if you try to time it all properly together.
Okay. Cat things. Oh. So that is about all the time I have, though. But thank you guys both so much. Is there any last things you'd like to share with your fans?
Follow us on all of our social media. Type in LYLVC. Go to TikTok, go to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, especially for sure. Go to lilac.com, so LYLVC.com. Check out our upcoming events. We have a show in May 11th at Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania at Love Drafts with Smile Empty Soul. We got Appalachian Rock Fest. We're headlining Rock Festival June 8th in Berryville, Virginia. So yeah, stay tuned for our upcoming shows, our upcoming music releases. We're really excited for 2024.
All right. Anything, Oscar?
No, that sounds perfect.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Take
you
care,
so much.
guys. Can't wait to hear the new music.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.